Researchers of unidentified flying objects say that such objects have the ability to dive in water, just like their ability to fly in the air or navigate in space, and it also has the ability to hide from human eyes. We have seen many cases showing unidentified flying objects diving into or out of the water. Even in 2020, this happened, and we talked about it in a previous video when a UFO landed and disappeared in the water in Oahu, Hawaii on December 29, 2020, around 8:30 p.m. This prompted the conspiracy theorists to assert that there are secret bases under the water that enter it and exit from it such unidentified flying objects. But in this case, the UFO was visible to eyewitnesses who followed it for a long distance until it gets into the water. But what about an unidentified flying object disguised in the UK, that witnesses did not see with their own eyes, and appeared in picture? A hidden UFO from witnesses' eyes appeared in picture in UK. On August 10, 2013, around 7:59 p.m, this stunning image of an unidentified flying object was taken in Bexhill, seafront, East Sussex, UK. The eyewitness, who was accompanied by his daughter inside the car, overlooking the place while taking this picture, says that he did not see anything in the sky while taking this picture, and the sky was completely free of any planes. But when he returned to his phone again to review the picture that he had taken and saved in memory, he noticed this unidentified flying object that appears in the picture. The eyewitness confirms that there was nothing in the sky when the photo was taken. The eyewitness continues to describe the scene, saying that, although there was nothing unusual and there is nothing in the sky, my daughter and I had a strange feeling of static electricity in the atmosphere while we were in this place. When he first saw the unidentified flying object in the photo, the witness says, he had initially thought that there might be a mark on the windshield, until he remembered his daughter washing the car before they went out to practice driving, for her next driving test. The unidentified flying object in the picture appears to be an oval metal object of relatively large size, if we take into account the distance between the unidentified flying object and eyewitnesses. Here a question comes to mind. What was this unidentified flying object doing there? When examining the picture carefully, you will find that the unidentified flying object appears to be flying over the water sideways, at an angle of about 45 degrees, as if preparing to do something, such as dive into the water. Some may say, why is he preparing to dive into the water, and not that it has just come out of the water? This may be true, but if the unidentified flying object was just coming out from the water, certainly, eyewitnesses would have noticed the effect of this exit on the surface of the water, as the process of exiting the water should leave at least circular waves appearing on the surface. This may be true, and that the unidentified flying object has just come out of the water in one case, if it came out and remained still in the air for a certain period, during which the effect of its exit from the water had disappeared, and the water had returned to its normal state, before the arrival of eyewitnesses to the area. But mostly in most of the sightings of unidentified flying objects from the water, they take off directly to the sky, and this is likely that the unidentified flying object was preparing to dive in the water, not the opposite. But why would an unidentified flying object dive into the water? Many conspiracy theory proponents confirm that such unidentified flying objects enter and exit from certain bases underwater, and many researchers on the subject of unidentified flying objects assert that such objects are able to dive in water, as their ability to fly in the air or move in space. But how can an unidentified flying object be hidden from the eyes of witnesses, and then appear in the captured image? We talked before about such a very advanced technology, which began in Japan with the manufacture of a material capable of scattering the light falling on it, and reflecting it at a certain angle and way, so that the result of this deceiving the human eye, and the disappearance of any object behind this material, so that you cannot see it with the naked eye. The American and German countries have developed such research and manufactured very advanced materials that can actually hide objects from the naked eye. Some scientists participating in such research have stated the ability of this material to hide anything: cars, buildings, and even people. They have even been made a certain piece of cloth is able to hide the wearer. As we mentioned before, Jamie Mouson, a well-known Mexican journalist and ufologist, confirmed that such unidentified flying objects have the ability to hide from the naked eye, and this was proven by a video clip filmed by a Mexican, while he observing the sky with his camera to capture any unidentified flying objects in the sky. As Mexico is one of the most active countries in the world that has many activities of unidentified flying objects in its sky, and when the man was watching the sky, there was nothing unusual there. Although he is a simple and unspecialized man, he had an idea. It was using an infrared camera, and here the surprise happened. As he pointed the two cameras at the same area in the sky, the normal camera did not capture anything unusual in the sky, but the infrared camera captured an unidentified flying object in disguise in the sky that appears in the infrared camera and nothing appears in the regular camera. This confirmed by Jamie Mouson, he a well-known researcher in UFOs, and his opinions are not insignificant, as he confirmed that such UFOs has a unique technology that helps them hide from human eyes. Many researchers in the field of UFOs have previously confirmed that UFOs do not use this technique of invisibility from human eyes only, as they have other ways to hide, such as clouds, as there are many sightings of UFOs during the presence of clouds in the sky. And there are a video clip confirms that an unidentified flying object was hidden behind the clouds before it launched at an amazing speed into space. And another video clip of a civil plane during its landing, where an unidentified flying object suddenly took off from behind the clouds. There are those who confirm that such unidentified flying objects have the ability to create clouds in the sky, so that they can be hidden in it, and there is a video clip confirming this, as the videographer filmed the sky which was completely clear, before a small cloud began to form in the clear sky, and its size began to gradually increase without any scientific explanation, and here the conspiracy theorists went directly to the fact that it was an artificial cloud by an unidentified flying object to hide from the eyes of passers-by. As for unidentified flying objects diving into or out of the water, there are many cases in which we have seen unidentified flying objects diving into or out of the water, or hovering on the surface of the water, and the year 2020 had a share of these sightings. In Oahu, Hawaii on December 29, 2020, around 8:30 p.m., what prompted conspiracy theorists to assert that there are secret underwater bases that enter and exit such unidentified flying objects. As for the cases in which the unidentified flying objects were seen hovering over the water, there are many of them. On May 27, 2018, an unidentified flying object was photographed in California, in the form of a large black teardrop, as described by an eyewitness, as it hovered over the water for a short period before diving and disappearing in the water. The eyewitness says that he stopped his car on a high area overlooking the sea, when he was eating his food inside the car, and overlooking the sea watching the wonderful scene. Then he noticed this unidentified flying object that was flying over the water, with an angle of 45 degrees, and at a fixed rate as he described it. The unidentified flying object was black and matte, and the man thought it was an ordinary plane, or some kind of bird that flies over the water smoothly. Due to the large distance between the UFO and the person who is photographing, the UFO was not completely clear, but we searched the recorded shapes of UFOs, and we found some shapes that may apply to the description of the eyewitness. The most explanations were that it was just a balloon that lost control and fell into the ocean, or that it was one of the equipment, or something that had fallen from a plane while it was passing through the place. These were the explanations provided by skeptics of the unidentified flying object. But none of them talked about how this flying object is capable to fly at a constant rate and perform a certain flight maneuver before diving into the water.